welcome to this evening's edition of Unleash Hour. And as you can see on your screen, we are going to be talking about goal setting and goal getting, which are two things that need to go together. There is no point in setting goals. You are not going to go ahead and find a way of getting to them. So again, this is still part of our foundational thinking on preparing to thrive in 2021 and beyond. And therefore, as you listen to this, just look at this as another piece you need to add to your whole preparation for thriving in 2021 and beyond. As we started by looking at self-care, then last week we looked at something else. This week we are looking at goal setting and goal getting as a foundation for thriving. Yeah, last week we dealt with fixing the past. So it was self-care, fixing the past. This week we are talking about goal setting and goal getting. And next week we'll be looking at something else, and then we'll be able to resume our usual plan where I'll be able to bring people on board to speak to us about various things in our four thematic areas, which for those of you who are not familiar are essential life skills, personal finance management, talent management, and entrepreneurship. When we talk about Unleash Hour, we are looking at us being able to unleash our potential in each of those areas. And definitely, as we do that, we will be well on our way to thriving. Because if you can take care of key life skills, if you can take care of your personal finance, if you can tap into your talents and abilities, and if you can tap into your entrepreneurial potential, then you're all set to thrive. Without much further ado, I want us to get into this evening's discussion on goal setting and goal getting. I'll just make a brief prayer before we proceed. Thank you, Sovereign Lord, for your goodness and your kindness towards us and for giving us this opportunity to share on a topic that is significant for us, even as we plan to thrive this year and beyond. I pray that you will use me to speak to every listener and that my words will make sense and help somebody thrive this year and beyond for the glory and the honor of your name. We thank you and we bless you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So thank you once again for joining us. And I've already put my screen up. Therefore, I'm just going to go into the next slide where our discussion begins. So if I was to ask you, what is a goal or what are goals? I don't know what you would say, but for me, goals can be defined as definite aims. And I call them definite because they have an element of clarity about what you are pursuing. One of the best descriptions I've ever heard of a goal is the second one, which says a goal is a dream with a deadline. There are many people who have dreams. There are many people who want to do things. There are many people who want to accomplish a lot. But few of us manage to do it because we don't set a timeline, we don't set a deadline for when this should be done. We leave it open-ended, and therefore it just remains a dream, or worse still, a wish. But when you set a deadline for the realization of your dream, then it transforms from just a dream to a goal. Then thirdly, I will talk about a goal as a desired outcome. When you set out to go and take action, it's important that you understand what your desired outcomes are. One of the best illustrations we can give for goals is what happens with the football. At the end of the day, the aim of every player who's on the field is to score that goal that will give his team the victory. They will do everything. They will move the ball around the field. They will take a lot of action, but the end desire, the end outcome that they are looking for, the final outcome that they are seeking is to put the ball in the back of the net. Therefore, you also need to ask yourself, what's the end result of everything I am doing? What's the end of result of all my action? Because one of the worst things that can happen to you is for you to keep moving around aimlessly, not sure what you're after, not sure what you're pursuing, not sure what represents fulfillment for you. So it's important to have a desired outcome for whatever it is you're doing so that you're not just moving blindly. The next question that comes up is, why set goals? This is one of the quotes that I like, and it says, those who aim at nothing hit it every time. For as long as your aim, your target is at nothing, you are sure to hit it, because for you, every destination that you end up in is just the right one. Because you see, unless you are clear about what the desired outcome is, every outcome is fine with you. You need to set goals to avoid the danger of never being able to tell when you have accomplished or when you haven't, or whether you're getting the results that you set out to get. Secondly, your life means something and your goals reflect what it is. Your goals are a reflection of the meaning of your life. Your goals tell us how you understand life, your outlook on life. They tell us what you value. They tell us what's important to you. Therefore, with no goals, even the people around you do not know how to treat you. The people around you do not know how to act. The people around you do not know how to help you move forward on your agenda. But when your life has meaning, when your life is clear about what it is you're pursuing, then it becomes easy for everyone to help you, which kind of ties in with my third reason. The world makes way for the man who knows where he's going. The world makes way for the man who knows where he's going. Once you are clear about your goal, once you're clear about what you seek to do and what you seek to accomplish, one thing that happens is that resources begin to align, people begin to show up, things begin to fall in place one after another to enable you get to where you wanted to go. Those who don't believe in God will tell you the universe is responding to you. The universe is responding to your resolution. The universe is responding to your determination. What I know with absolute certainty is that indeed, the moment you begin to move in a particular direction and you are clear and committed towards going that way, then a lot of things begin to align and move in your way. As a believer, I would attribute that to God. But hey, whatever you choose to attribute it to, that's really up to you. I do not know what your religious persuasion is, but the bottom line is that when your mind is made up about what you are pursuing, things will begin to fall in place for you and people will begin to move to make things possible for you. Reason number 4 why you need to set goals is that goals inform action. Your goals determine what you will and you want to do at any given time. I live in Juja. There's no way my goal would be to go to Nairobi and then I get onto Thika Road and I take a matatu going in the opposite direction towards Thika or Nyeri or wherever else along the road. If my goal is clear that I want to go to Nairobi, then I will look for a matatu that is going to Nairobi. It's very clear that my goal has informed the kind of action that I take. Big goals require big action. Small goals will also be given action that is commensurate. So you want to direct your action through the kind of goals that you set. When you realize that what you have to accomplish is huge, you will have to put in more effort than the person who is not sure about what they are going towards. Goals will also help you organize your resources in the right direction. They will give you what is called laser focus. When you're scattering your resources across many goals and aims and objectives, what is likely to happen is that you will not be able to accomplish so much in terms of moving forward on your goals. But when you learn to focus on the 1 to 3 major things that you need to pursue, then your focus is much more defined. They say the best way to tell the impact of focus when you're doing something is to think about a magnifying glass. What a magnifying glass does is that it captures the rays of the sun and focuses them on a particular thing. And if you've ever done it, you know how much heat energy is generated when you focus the rays of the sun on something. When we were young, we used to do it on our own hands. If somebody would get a magnifying glass and they would place it on your hand while facing the sun, and without knowing it, sometimes you would feel the heat stinging you and you would wonder where it came from, only to know that it was a magnifying glass. So what goals do is they work like a magnifying glass to help you focus your resources on this particular thing that matters and you're able to move. Goals also create accountability because the moment you open your mouth to share your goal, you call yourself to attention. Everybody who's concerned in one way or another about you and what you do will hold you to account. They will want to know how far you have gone in the pursuit of your goal. They will want to hear what you are doing to fulfill the goals that you have set for yourself. Therefore, you want to ensure that you have goals and you have spoken to the people who matter in your life about what it is you are pursuing. Goals also bring about motivation. That's my next point. Goals bring motivation. What do I mean by that? The moment you are focused on pursuing a particular goal, the fact that you have not reached it pushes you to wake up. The fact that you have not hit your target pushes you to take action which you would not otherwise have taken because you realize that you have a duration within which you need to accomplish this goal. Therefore, you will move heaven and earth to ensure that you succeed. So there is a lot of motivation that is generated from having goals. And therefore, if you have not set any goals for yourself, probably for the next 1 year, for the next 3 years, for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years, you need to rethink your way of doing things because goals make a lot of difference, as you can see, and it's important for you to have your goals set and clearly defined. I will quote 2 quotes from 2 great thinkers here. One of them is Bill Copeland, who says, "The trouble with not having a goal is that you can spend your life running up and down the field and never score." The trouble with not having a goal is that you can spend your life running up and down the field and never score, which is very true because I have said as footballers move the ball around the field, they have only one aim. Their aim is to get the ball in the back of the net. When you are not clear what the goal is, you will move the ball up and down. You will do very many things, but they will amount to nothing. And you will get to the end of your life and ask yourself, what did I accomplish? And it will be a difficult question to answer. Why? Because you are not clear, first of all, about what it is you really wanted to accomplish. Then Zig Ziglar says, you need a plan to build a house. To build a life, it is even more important to have a plan or goal. You need a plan to build a house. To build a life, it is even more important to have a plan or goal. So for Zig Ziglar, he's insisting on the planning that goes into accomplishment of a goal. So you need to ask yourself, since I want to build my life a particular way, to have it go in a particular direction, how much planning do I need to have in order for me to succeed? So that is food for thought for you, even as we go along. So for me, there are three key issues that you need to pay attention to when you are setting your goals. I know you're familiar with the SMART model of goal setting, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. I want to focus on these three because I have a few issues with the two that I haven't included here, and for good reason. One, uh, goals need to be specific. There can be no argument about that. You need to be very clear about what it is you seek to accomplish. Your goal cannot be general, it cannot be a broad statement that is ambiguous and unclear. You need to be super clear, you need to be super specific about what represents a victory for you, what represents accomplishment for you, in order for you to move well and to do well in terms of pursuing your goal. Number two, goals also need to be measurable because the only way to know you have attained is when you hit measurable milestones. If you cannot measure it, then it becomes difficult to know whether the goal has been accomplished. And management theory also speaks about the concept of whatever you can't measure, you can't manage. So it becomes difficult for you to navigate, to walk the journey of accomplishing your goals when you are not clear what those goals are and when the goals are not measurable in terms of you can't tell how far you have gone in the pursuit of your goals. It becomes very difficult for you to move and to make progress. And then goals also need to be time bound. The time required for the accomplishment of your goal cannot be open ended. You cannot keep shifting goalposts. You cannot keep allowing time to pass you by. Remember, I said earlier that the difference between a goal and a dream is that deadline that you set. Therefore, you have to decide once and for all that this is the time frame within which I need to accomplish this. Well, it's possible for one reason or another for you to find yourself in a situation where you experience delay, but by and large, you will want to work with a specific timeline so that you push yourself. They say work expands to fill the time allocated to it. What that basically means is that if you are given an assignment and given 2 weeks to finish it, chances are you'll be working on it in the last 48 hours of those 2 weeks. So the thing is, if they had given you 48 hours, you would still have done the job and completed it. But because you had this window of 2 weeks. You did all manner of things and then came round to it when you realize that the deadline is approaching. Therefore, the same thing goes for our goals. When we begin to think differently about our goals, we'll find ourselves accomplishing so much more within a short time because we have put a deadline for ourselves concerning what we need to accomplish. Think about that as we continue. Goal getting. One of the most important things in the pursuit of your goals is an action plan. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Many of us are good at stating what we want out of life. We are very clear about what we are pursuing, but we have no plan in place for the realization of the same. And that becomes a problem. It becomes a problem because then you are never sure how far you have gone in the pursuit of your goal. You are never sure whether you are still on track or not. An action plan is so significant for you because with an action plan in place, you can tell what your first steps are, and you can also tell what your next steps are after you've started moving, and you can tell whether you're getting closer to the realization of the goal or drifting further away. Without an action plan, evaluation is impossible. And without evaluation, you will never be able to tell whether you got there or not. So you see, a goal that is set minus an action plan really amounts to nothing because you are never sure. They say hope is not a strategy. Faith without action is dead. Therefore, no one is expected to sit back and wait for things to happen in and of themselves. Action is required in order for goals to become a reality. So here are some mistakes that we make when it comes to goal setting and goal getting. One is we set small and uninspiring goals. And this is where my issue with attainable and realistic comes into being. I learned this from Grant Cardone, who says that when you choose to set attainable and realistic goals, you're choosing to play the average game. You're choosing to fit in with everyone else. You need to set goals that scare you a little bit, that look so unreal, that make you realize that if you don't get down to business, if you don't get serious about what you seek to do, then you're going to struggle and it's going to be a problem. You cannot set small and inspiring goals because they will not drive you and they will not push you to be the best version of yourself. The second mistake that we make is we underestimate the effort required to reach our goals. So, what happens here is that your plan of action is not very clear, it's not very elaborate. You are not clear about what it will take. You don't know how much effort you will need to put in order to achieve your goal. And therefore, that slows you down and makes it difficult for you to move. So, what do you do when that is happening? Number one thing is become comfortable with setting big goals. Become at peace with setting big goals. Do not think like the rest of the masses. Do not set comfortable goals that require little to no effort to fulfill. Do not set goals that are uninspiring, as I have mentioned. Seek to set goals that will challenge you. Seek to set goals that will bring out the best in you. Number two, match your action plan to your goals. Your action plan must reflect the size of your goals. Big goals require big action. I cannot say that enough. Big goals require big action. And like I said, these are things that I learned from the 10x rule by Grant Cardone. who is a proponent of massive action, that the only way for you to reach your goals and to be secure is for your action to be massive in scale. You cannot afford to play small. You cannot afford to act small. You cannot afford to plan small. You have to think big, plan big, and act big in order for you to reach your goals. I have a few tidbits to share as we continue. One, commit to your goals publicly and to the right people. There's a concept that I also learned from one of my most favorite psychologists. His name is Dr. Benjamin Hardy. He uses the term forcing functions. Forcing functions. And this is one of the forcing functions you can employ in your own life, especially when it comes to goals. Forcing functions are actually things that you do, and by virtue of doing them, you are forced to act in a particular way, whether you like it or not. Committing to your goals publicly is a forcing function because now you have people who have heard what you have said you want to do, and they will be on your case. They'll be there to tell you how far have you come with regard to fulfilling this goal. So you will find that coming up a lot in your conversations. And I'm also saying you commit to the right people. What I mean by the right people is you want to commit to people who are equally hungry about fulfilling their goals. You want to commit to people who will be there to encourage you. You want to commit to people who will think of you when they are going about their own activities and think about how they can help you reach your goals much more quickly. You do not want to commit to naysayers, though naysayers are good because sometimes your public commitment in and of itself pushes you to accomplish, because you know if you don't accomplish, they are going to be there saying all manner of things about you. So learn to commit publicly. Become comfortable with committing publicly. Your goals should not be secret. They should not be hidden in a closet somewhere. You should be speaking about them. You should be acting on them. You should be declaring it everywhere that this is what I'm pursuing and this is what I'm working towards. Very important for you. Number two, choose to make your goals more important than your excuses. A lot of us, the reason why we don't accomplish our goals is because we have valued the excuses that we bring for not doing what we committed to do. If everybody was to bring up excuses and reasons for not acting the way they ought to, I can guarantee you that a lot of goals would not be accomplished. A lot of seemingly impossible feats would not have been accomplished by people out there. Therefore, the question you need to be asking yourself is, between my goals and my excuses, what is more important? The people who make it in life have chosen to magnify their goals above all excuses. They will show up every day, irrespective of what is going on in their lives. They will show up to do the right thing, irrespective of what is trying to hold them back. When you see them not able to show up, it is truly because it is beyond their ability to do anything. But for as long as they can move a finger, they will move a finger. For as long as they can make a move, they will make a move. So you need to become ruthless with yourself if you're going to accomplish your goals. Number three, anticipate setbacks and make plans for those you can. One of the things that you can be sure is that in the pursuit of your goals, you're going to encounter setbacks, one after another. Setbacks will be with you, left, right, and center. There will be many things that will come up in the process, seeking to stop you, seeking to pull you back. But you have to make up your mind that you will proceed irrespective of those setbacks. So, one of the best things that you can do for yourself is try to tell beforehand what setbacks you are likely to face so that you can deal with them beforehand, so that by the time they are coming your way, they already find a plan of action in place to deal with them. I know that there are many setbacks that come unexpectedly, and there is nothing much you can do in terms of planning for them in advance. But for every setback you can foresee, any setback you can foretell, please put a plan in place to ensure that you have dealt with it, so that you have the energy left to deal with those that show up unexpectedly as you go along. Up next is employ your ingenuity to solve challenges as they emerge. The thing is, the human mind has the capacity to come up with solutions when put under pressure. And many times we fail to make use of this great ability that we have, because we try as much as possible to run away from challenges. But if you are going to reach your goals, if you're going to accomplish your aims and objectives, then you will have to become comfortable with solving challenges as they emerge. That you will be able to think on your feet and act quickly to get things back on track when it seems like they are getting off track as a result of one challenge or another. It begins by you acknowledging that you have the mind to come up with solutions. So you must accept the fact that you have what it takes to actually solve the problems that come your way. You have to be comfortable with thinking on your feet, because most of the time the things that come at us and the things that come to slow us down do not give us prior warning about their coming. A good example would be the pandemic that we have struggled with over the whole of last year, and it has spilled into this new year. Nobody prepared us for this pandemic. Nobody prepared us for lockdowns. Nobody prepared us for social distance and all those things that have sort of become a part and parcel of us. Therefore, if you remain in that place where you're waiting for things to get back to normal before you proceed with your life, for sure you know that it might take a long time for that to happen. Therefore, what needs to happen is you need to find a way of thinking through the challenge and finding a way of dealing with it so that you're able to proceed towards your goal in the shortest time possible. So here's a few action items that I would like you to consider taking as we go into 2021, because remember, you are preparing yourself to thrive. So number one is set your goals for 2021 and beyond. Think about what you want 3 years from now. Think about what you want 5 years from now. Think about what you want 10 years from now, and write it down. Let it be clear. Let it be obvious to you and to everybody who is around you that these are the priorities for some. These are the priorities for me. This is what I am passionate about. This is what I am in pursuit of. If you already did it, take a second look at them and revise upwards. Remember, I said it's important to set big, inspiring goals. So you have to take a look at what's going on and what you have already planned, and revise it upwards, because it's going to help you. It's going to make a whole lot of difference regarding what you're doing. So revise your goals upwards so that you're moving in the right direction. Number three, revisit your action plan to be sure it tallies with your goals. So look again at your plan of action for the realization of your goals, and be honest with yourself. If it does not tally with the size of your goals, then revise your plan of action so that you're able to move and to go in the right direction, and you're able to accomplish what you have set out to do in the time that you have given yourself. So make sure that your action plan is aligned to your goals. Number four, talk to us to get extra help in staying the course for your goals. If you're there and you're struggling with reaching your goals, you're struggling with even the very idea of setting your goals and putting together an action plan, if you're there and you're stuck on the runway, you don't know how to move forward, if you started out well, but for some reason you're not proceeding at the speed that you would want, then feel free to talk to us. We have a number of initiatives that can help you to get moving. Key among them being our program, which is able to help you in terms of pursuing your goals, in terms of pursuing your dreams. So feel free to reach out to us and find the help that you need to accomplish your goals, to reach the heights that you have set for yourself, even in 2021. So you can reach out to us through our email address, asenasam@gmail.com, asenasam@gmail.com. Or you can also send us a short message or WhatsApp us on +254 774 776 413, +254 774 776 413. So I want to thank you for making the time to be here with us tonight. Thank you for listening to what we had to share, and I want to wish you the very best as you seek to thrive in 2021. Share your journeys with us, share your stories with us about what you've been able to do, share what you're thinking. Yeah, one of the things I want you to do is share some of your goals. You can make us part of the public that knows what it is you're pursuing, so that we can cheer you on, so that we can support you, so that we can offer you whatever help we are in a position to offer you, to help you towards the realization of your goals. So thank you so much. God bless you and thrive in 2021 and beyond. So that's it from us for now. My name is Samuel Minamo Asena from Optimize Institute, and this is Unleash Hour. It's been my pleasure speaking to us and sharing with us. Thank you so much. God bless you.